As we continue to cover this incredible breaking news of the Haken family now being confirmed to have landed on the shores of Cuba, in fact, tucked away nicely in a marina in Havana, according to our Patrick Ottman, who made that discovery just a short time ago. He has had a visual contact with not only those two parents, but at least one of those boys who was seen playing on the deck of the Salty, the small yacht that apparently Mr. Haken purchased not long before leaving the shores of America with those two children from whom his parental rights have been separated or severed, as well as that mother. I want to get you right to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office in Tampa, where our Victor Blackwell is standing by live. Victor, the reason you're there is because this is where the custodial grandmother, the grandmother who has been looking after those children, her name is Patricia Hauser, last saw her children about a week ago when she was tied up, and allegedly those kids were kidnapped by those parents. Can you let me know if you've seen her, if she's inside?
She is here. We saw her about an hour ago. She was wearing a purple top, some dark pants, walked in with at least one deputy into a side door, and she's been inside since then. Now, we do not know exactly what is happening inside, but I'm waiting to see what the next move is on this part of the grandmother and the detectives, because at the point in which she walked in, there was no confirmation that the family was there, at least that was public. Does this now go to a plea to bring them back? Was this originally an interview to get information to find out exactly where they would go? Now, this was just 5 days ago that this woman in her late 60s, was tied up in her home and her grandchildren taken from her. The grandchildren that just the previous day she'd had custody given to her after the parents lost, as you said, or the custody was severed, that relationship severed on the Tuesday. Wednesday morning at about dawn, she was bound and the children were being taken out. We also know that there is a connection to, as you mentioned, that moment in which Joshua Haken went to the foster parents' home in July of 2012 to try to take his children by force. We're told by police there that he walked up to the house with a gun. That was not successful, but he does face charges of aggravated assault, felony, criminal trespassing. That's a misdemeanor. That warrant issued back in July of 2012. So the list of charges are growing for Joshua Haken. The question is, what about Sharon Haken? Is she also in danger here? We've not heard that from police, but what we also have not heard is if there are charges that are going to be filed against her as working with him in this kidnapping. That's something we're waiting for. Now, we're set up inside the building, hoping that there are comments coming. There has not been a news conference announced, but we've got cameras and mics at a podium hoping that they come out and give us some information. So we know that the grandmother's here. We're hoping that more answers come out here as well.
And that's a great question. Is that mother also a victim, or is she a suspect? And I do recall at one point a police release suggesting that they are both suspected of being involved in this kidnapping. And now clearly they are not on our shores, but the story will continue. Victor Blackwell watching that for us in Hillsborough County in Tampa. Thank you for that. And we have a lot more news as well. By the way, our Patrick Ottman has been just killing it on this story and breaking incredible news. He is also continuing to canvass that marina to find out what he can about how long they've been there and get more video as well of the Haken family as they essentially set up home on board that small yacht called the Salty with the paw print on the side, obviously that being a telltale sign that is the boat in question that has been sought in this week-long ordeal. Fugitives from justice, the Haken family, Joshua, Sharon, and two children, Chase and Cole, 2 and 4 years old, respectively. 3 very violent incidents that they potentially could have witnessed here on the U.S. shores involving their parents and weapons. So hopefully this will end well. Charlie Sheen and Rihanna and Justin Timberlake and Sean Diddy Combs and Kim Kardashian, and look at all of those faces. They all have one thing in common. They have been victims of swatting. If you don't know what it is expensive, it is illegal, and it is a problem. We'll talk about it in a moment.